Who's live? I'm live. Welcome, everyone. Replay crew. What up? Let's just take this moment to say hello before everybody gets here. Appreciate a replay crew. We're getting ready for Aquashella over here. This is what I'm taking. I'm going to be leaving all of those little babies in there. I'm going to be returning like 6 males to the prospective tanks. There's like 4 tanks? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 tanks. I still haven't gotten to 1, but I've gotten all of the males, I believe, out of guppies wise. I've already got them out of the tanks. So and in here. So what we'll be doing is we'll be leaving all the babies in there. I'll get all the adults out and into a bucket. I'm going to take these babies to Aquashella. We're going to be giving away guppies, tiger bow, Siswasser tang, and bristlenose plecos. I got some brown ones. There's quite a few babies in this like crazy tank behind me, and there's all sorts of juveniles in there. And then I have some juveniles that I moved and I grew up. And once I move all that Siswasser tang, there's definitely a full-size male in there. In one of the tanks. So yeah, I'm planning on having a couple of adults so that in there so that I can show them about how long they get and be like, that's an adult one, that's a younger one. There's one smaller than that, but I have like really, really small babies and they will have better luck at growing up if I thin the herd. But yeah, man, I want to talk about live bears with people. I want to talk about bristle noses. I want to talk about plecos and having the right size pleco for your aquarium, stuff like that. Things that we all know, those of us that are regularly in fish streams and stuff like that, that a new fish keeper might know, or somebody might have a different opinion about. You know what I mean? It's always good to hear that kind of talk too. So yeah, no, very excited. Just got off the phone with Eddie. He has a frontosa that's acting up. That frontosa got moved to another tank because Eddie's not going to be able to intervene and take care of the injured, and it's looking like it's not going to go well. Sounds like he's got another murderer. So he's getting ready at his place. He's got a couple water changes to do and stuff like that to make sure that he's ready. He still needs to pack. So do I. So I'm going to finish packing my clothes in the morning. I definitely have enough socks and underwear. I got that part done. You know what I mean? That's the most important, really. You know what I mean? Because if you don't have enough socks or you don't have enough underwear, you know what I mean? Like that can really alter your experience at an event. So I'm very excited. I can't wait to see Grant and Shelby. I'm planning on helping them tomorrow. We like to get. They like to get the shrimp tanks for the shrimp competition. They like to get that set up the day before. That way everything can get settled and stuff like that. And basically I was helping last year, and basically all of those nanocubes that they use, the title of the tank is nanocube. All of those cubes are stacked in a cube on a pallet, and they are like delivered. You know what I mean? So we get them off the pallet. They're all in boxes. We take them all out of the boxes, and we get them set up. Getting the water, all of that, all of the testing. I was there for a good part of it last year, and Grant was able to like talk me through it and stuff like that. And I mean, like when you have like a big Rubbermaid trash can full of water, so you've got like 50 gallons of water, and then you're adding the GH powder to it. No, not GH. Yeah, GH powder to it, and doing the measurements and stuff like that. It's kind of interesting to see, like, how it's done. You know what I mean? And the testing and the adjustment. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. To get it just right. Because I mean, like, that's the secret sauce, man. You start out with RO, and then you build it back with some salts. So very interesting stuff. Learning about shipping plants, keeping plants, displaying plants. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Grant is, if you ever get the chance to work with him, you know what I mean? Like, he's a great guy to work with. And I mean, like, he's just got a lot of experience. So it's really fun to, like, get some advice, like, while we're having fun and like doing the thing. So I'm very excited about it. Like I said, I'm going to be taking some fish and plants down there and stuff like that, and we'll set up and all hang out together, all of us fish tubers and whatnot, you know what I mean? And like, we'll hang out with the crowd and we'll talk about fish, and if somebody wants to try a plant or a fish, you know what I mean? Like, I like live bears a whole lot. I love my bristle noses. I think that they are an excellent choice in smaller pleco, one that can fit in tanks that will fit in most houses. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a 10 or 20 gallon tank, you can have a bristlenose pleco. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want a common pleco. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't know where to go and you're going to PetSmart, you know what I mean? Like, you can end up with that, you know what I mean? And like, I think that it's not hard to breed a bristlenose pleco. There's not a cave in there, and I've got so many bristlenoses. So they're not hard to breed. I feel like they probably just don't breed as fast, or it's not as easy as just buying a bunch of wild plecos that are caught. But you know what I mean? Like, I think that they need to get there, and I think they will once they. I mean, like, I look forward to the future. You know what I mean? Like, this hobby, we're operating with more knowledge than we ever have. We have access to more knowledge than we've ever had. And while there's lots of things that are not ideal with the way that fish are treated in the industry and stuff like that, but also it's not, I mean, like, there's lots of conflicting information out there and things like that, but there's more than one way to do this. I'm just we've come so far, you know what I mean? Like, I can only imagine where it's going. It's only going to continue to move faster, from what I understand. From my personal experience, it's only going to go faster. So let's get in here and let's see who's here. Who's here? How I get chat? I close this. Can I get chat? Nope. Where's my chat? There's my chat. Uh-oh, special hello to Dr. Anthony. I can already see that. Let's go up to the top. Vibes, first one in. Aquarium maintenance, then get packed up. Catahoula's in the house. Welcome, welcome. All right, vibes, 4 tanks. That's not too bad, man. That's not too bad. I did everything in here. Yes, well, almost everything in here yesterday, but I'm really gonna go through a tank, and it has so much floating plants in it that I'm going to end up doing a water change to get all those guys out of there anyway. So that's just gonna happen. There you go. Special hello to Doc Awesome, twerking and lurking. Hey, man, whether you're in Peru or stateside, either way, sir, twerk away. You know what I mean? Like, you do you, bro. I love it. Mr. Templeton. So you had a full count on the fry, and I have 33 fry. Oh my goodness, Josh. Hey man, sounds like that. Sounds like they're doing the same thing that they're doing over here. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I could have warned about that maybe a little bit. You know what I mean? But I mean, like, they're a live bear. We all know what happens. But like, these guys are definitely like living up to the live bear name. Like I said, man, it's a strong line, and I don't know whether it has to do with the way my tank is set up or the fact that I'm probably overfeeding them because I love them so much. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big guy. You know what I mean? I believe that food is love. I also believe that that might not be good. You know what I mean? But I mean, like, come on, man. I'm gonna eat a Nutter Butter. Who isn't? But 33 fry in the baby tank. The adults just dropped another litter in the 20 high, and the pygmy cories are courting. It's getting crazy. Joshua, that's what I'm talking about. It is getting crazy. You know what I mean? And yeah, people like free. And if you can gather at a place where you can find fish keepers, you know what I mean? Like, that is probably the easiest way that I have found to get rid of fish. Other than that, develop a relationship with your local fish store and stuff like that. Help them out. You can always be messing around on Marketplace or Craigslist or something like that to get rid of some items, to trade some items, things like that. But hey, man, yeah, you got to start thinking about. Yeah, you got to start. You got to start thinking about what you're going to do with all those babies. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a wild time. And like pygmy cories, you shouldn't have any trouble whatsoever getting rid of those. Um, and these guppies sure do look good. So I mean, like, you might be able to move them as well. But also, Josh, I mean, like, I don't know, like, a lot of people are not like in like a city center area, you know what I mean? So it can be a little bit difficult to get somebody to come up and pick up some guppies at your house. I'm in South Austin. We're cool like that, you know what I mean? So I've moved some stuff before. Yeah, you got to have good shoes. Vibes is going to take his best shoes to Aquashella. Good. Java moss and guppy grass you added had ram's horn snails and freshwater limpets in it. Freshwater limpets. I'm not sure what a freshwater limpet is, Josh. I'd love to hear a little bit more about that because I might have seen them before and I just didn't know that they were a freshwater limpet. And my guppy grass is rebounding. Finally, that's what I'm talking about. Vibes just texted me. Well, that's great. I'll check in a second. Monster Fish Girl, welcome in. MFG, everywhere you want to be. She's like American Express. She's in all my streams. Vibes, beautiful guppies. Well, thank you, sir. You'll get to see them again in the morning, buddy. But yeah, I've got there's a lot of plecos, bristlenose plecos that I want to move move on and spread the lore. Where I'm falling short on my ideal plans, I was gonna make some homemade filters and box filters out of containers, and I have not done that, and I have so much on my plate right now that might not get done. We might just hang on back on this deal. Feeders, yeah, that's true. Doc Awesome, you can when you do have live bears that get out of control and stuff like that, honestly, probably the easiest way to would be to keep the ones that you want, the most beautiful, the most rounded, beautiful females, the males with the coloration and fin color, fin shape, all of those things. Keep the breeders that you want, and you can use all those offspring as feeders for fish that eat other fish. You know what I mean? Like that is and that's kind of like a circle of life thing and stuff like that. Because the last thing that we want to do, and one of the most important things about fish education and letting people know, is that if you end up with a ton of guppies and you take them and you're like, I'm just going to put them in the park. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Like these guppies are from a different environment. They don't need to be out messing up the structure of our habitats, our natural habitats. And that's real important. The Texas Parks and Wildlife that's in control, like tons of stuff for deer hunting and stuff like that, but they stock rivers and ponds with fish. So there is a very large fishery department, and the rules on fishing for the state of Texas, I think, are very good. I see game wardens a lot. You know what I mean? So like they are out there, they're doing their thing and stuff like that, making sure the public's doing the right thing with the fish. And I think we do a good job of spreading that education. So yeah, I'm real proud of that department of Texas government. And I mean, like, there's plenty to improve everywhere. And I'm just glad that it's not my job to be in charge of any of it. So, skinny Nona. Okay, they're the flat-looking oval blobs that are the size of a baby aspirin. According to Jeff Pelham, they are great to have in the tank as they are great algae eaters and don't get out of control. Baby, size of a baby aspirin. Okay. Does it have a shell? Is it a type of snail? There could be a double sword male in that tank. Let me look. There's a lot of them in here. I have seen it before, Doc Awesome. I'm not seeing it right now. But also, okay, I think I see which one you're talking about on the screen. And no, that one is a not ideal Moscow tail because it's not a solid color. It's just lighter colored in the center. So that one is not a double. But I have seen a couple pintails where it's got the extra part in the middle of the tail on the end. And I did see one variation of I think I've seen a single tail. I don't think I've seen a double tail either, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I am not prohibiting breeding in any way. All of these males, like with like colors in their tails and stuff like that, they've been allowed to breed freely in the colony. It's like everybody else. So it's kind of haphazard, you know what I mean? But like, I still love them to death. And this is going to be my big sort tonight. And we'll get it going again. I don't have to empty this tank completely. I'm taking a different tank with me. That I still have to wipe out from last year, but it should be good to go. Okay, the shells are very thin and practically invisible. Okay, yeah. Then I probably have seen them before. So yeah, Doc Awesome. That one that looks like a double sword on the screen there. That's just lighter in color in the center of the tail. Which some of those guys have been very, very cool. One of my favorites in my tank at work. How's that? Okay, I see that. Yeah, that guy is there's another one with more of a V shape, and that one is also lighter colored towards the center back of the tail. So that's what's going on. But it's so good to see everybody. So we're going to be doing that. Man, I have so much to do. Very exciting though. The guppies, the guppies in my one tank were so easy to get. It was not hard to collect them at all. The plecos are going to be a little bit harder to deal with, but that's okay. But the good news is I have basically I believe I got all the males out of those tanks up at the top, so I'm pretty happy. Let me adjust the screen. What do I do here? Hide camera, keep audio. There we go. Bum, 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 bum. So basically, I have a 20-gallon long have a 20-gallon long that I'm going to take with me. That's what the fish and plants are going to go in. They don't have to all be in there at once. So I'm taking a 20-gallon tank, and I've got 4 Homer buckets with lids, and I will aerate the fish, but I figure I'll divide everything that's going into 2 buckets, and then the fish can go into the 20 gallons, the 20-gallon tank. So we just got to get them up there and get the tank set up, and then they'll be good to go. And then I'm going to have plants in the other 2 buckets. I've got like a ton of Siswasser tanks, so we should be able to hand people some Siswasser tank to go. And I've got my heat sealer and some bags and stuff like that. So if we can get access to an outlet, we'll be able to do all that. And I think that would be fun because not everybody has played with the heat sealer and stuff like that. And that sounds like something that somebody might want to try out. So yes, very, very active. Lots of females. I will make sure that I keep some of my plumpest females in each tank so that we can continue the mayhem. But also by doing this, I'm taking the fish in all 4 of my tanks and mixing them together. So there should be some mixing of genes going on and stuff like that. M&C, hey. Good to see you. I've tried to call June, but we've just been playing phone tag, so I should have just coordinated with her through email, but I think I'm going to go ahead and pack up a package and get it mailed tomorrow. I already have the box prepared. It's insulated. It's standard USPS, so I will gather a bunch of Tiger Val and get that off to her. And we'll see what she does out of the kindness of her heart. Beers are expensive. So, yeah, I'm very excited about the event. It's not my first event, so it shouldn't be too hard to, I just got to find my stickers. I need to find a pair of scissors to cut said stickers. Need to pack all my sunglasses, all my cheap sunglasses. Need to make sure I have enough clothes, stuff like that. It should be pretty easy. So that's what I'm doing this stream. I can put this camera on another couple tanks and I can grab Siswasser tank and things like that. Because I think most of the snails will come out of the Siswasser tank if I move the Siswasser tank around and put it in a bucket and then take the Siswasser tank from one bucket, put it in another bucket. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Physical sorting. But like I said, the plants are much easier to catch. It's the fish I was worried about, and I was able to get all the guppies from 3 of the 4 tanks. So we'll see how it goes. Vibes, the vibes are better in your tank now that you remove the offender. Potential murderer. You're like, I got a situation and I can't like let that sit over a long weekend. I'll come back and everything will be dead. Yep, not the first well, and like I said, like vibes, like this is a potential murderer. You know what I mean? Like he's just taking it too far, the bossness of the tank. But you had that one murderer for a while. Do you still have him? Well, MSC, I will try not to. You know what I mean? The good news is Thursday. Thursday, Thursday, there won't be as many people in the parking lot, I think. And then during the event itself, I'm at the event, so I'm not driving. But I'm just super stoked about the whole thing. Oh, that's good vibes. I'm glad the murderer is gone. That's good. Vibes was thinking about taking some cichlids, and then he was like, but then I got to think about a tank. And he goes, and that's a whole nother can of worms. And I was like, yep, a can of worms that I have already opened for myself. So he's going to come over here at 8:30 in the morning, and we'll get loaded up. But I already know the containers that I'm taking. So like right now, it's just about catching the fish and grabbing the plants. So this shouldn't be bad. Um, so if there's a stream running after my stream, like Miss Cece, I would be glad to listen to that and participate a little bit in chat while I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But I'm drinking some coffee right now. I woke up at like 8:30 p.m., so I have totally screwed up my sleep schedule. But I mean, like Eddie was saying, it was like, well, worst case scenario, you know what I mean? I get short on sleep one day. You know what I mean? Like, not that big a deal. And I'm kind of in agreement with that. Hey, Miss Cece. Hello. We're gathering fish for Aquashella. All right, Josh, you have a good night, sir. Thank you for coming by and giving me an update on what's going on with your guppy mafia you got going on over there. Oh, excellent, CC. I'm excited. I am excited for your stream tonight. It's going to be a good one. All right, folks. But I will be taking all of the gravel, or most of the gravel, out of this tank and putting it in the buckets with the fish to help with the water. And at the event and stuff like that, I can change the water in the buckets tomorrow afternoon. Once I get the tank set up, I can move them out of the bucket into the tank. So everyone, after this stream ends at 12:30, we have a special a stream with a special surprise from CC. I'm excited. We should definitely go over there. Those of us who stay awake at night. Like I said, I'm drinking coffee right now. I feel like it's going to help me catch the fish, because the fish is definitely smarter than me as far as like evading a net and stuff like that. So it'll be fun. Let's get me back in. Hey, there I am. So we've had yesterday when I was doing water changes. Let me show you this tank here. So this tank here, I gravel vacked the substrate and got all the muck and dust out of the substrate. And then I would cut the siphon, and all of the substrate that I had pulled up in the tube would fall out, and I'd put it back over the area that I just swept. And the water clarity in here is so much better than it has been in months. And it's just because of the aqua soil that's in there. It's a mix of sand and aqua soil. The aqua soil that was in there was breaking down. I mean, as well as fish poop and whatnot. But all of that mulm and like dusty stuff from the substrate was getting kicked up by 2 bristlenose plecos that I have in here that are female, that are huge. They are definitely full size. If I can catch one of them out of this tank without wrecking it, because I do not, that buse is amazing. And needs to be trimmed, but that's for next week. There's some blackbeard algae growing on it, and those pieces need to be trimmed anyway. So I'm thinking about trimming it back and then cutting off the blackbeard algae that's growing on some of it. Cut those pieces out, and then the ends that don't have any blackbeard algae on them, I will repurpose or make this bush bigger. But yeah, I'm really excited about how long this has stayed there. The bristlenoses didn't dig it up. It's definitely a big clump now. So like when I first was putting the buse in there, it was getting like dug up and moved. but it's definitely like sat in there, so it's doing well. All right, what else? Let's see. Ah, yes. There's the male bristle nose I was talking about. I would like him to. Come with me. I'm going to take 2/3 of this Swassertang out, and that's going. I started moving Swassertang in the front right here. Let's see. Need a little bit less. There we go. Yeah, let me show you what I got here yesterday. So as you can see, like real good roots on them, thick stringers, like, so I'm going to mail about 3 times as much as this over to June. And like I said, I've already got a bucket for it. I mean, I've already got a bucket for it, a paper bucket, also known as. So yeah, I have June's address and everything, so I can just send her an email and let her know that it's gone. But yeah, I can fit quite a bit in here. And it's a nice long box, so I should be able to get it. Should be able to have the tiger valve like link the long way here in there and get to her. So life is good. So much to do, so little time. Run, 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 run. 1 second, folks. I'll be right back with you. Oh, one last thing I might be able to show you guys my bristle nose situation. So that's what I got going on. Got all different sizes, and then there's like even little babies and stuff like that as well, like real little guys. But yeah, there's lots of bristle noses everywhere. So it's just about catching them out. Nice vibes. I'm so glad that that's happening. What's everybody else doing? Like I said, I'm just happy to be meeting with my people out there. It's a great opportunity to meet people and have fish conversations. Yeah, vibes. I get to finish packing my clothes and stuff in the morning. The wife already went to bed. So I woke up with I woke up with everything to do before my live stream. And I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? But I keep calming myself down by saying, hey man, you're taking a 20-gallon tank that's already empty. You're taking four 5-gallon buckets. That's all you got to worry about. You just got to put stuff in the buckets. You know what I mean? Like, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Calm it down. All right, Jeff Kane, trying to catch up on some 3D printing stuff. Kind of, sort of-ish, maybe. Good job, buddy. I know with that 3D printing and stuff like that, you have like all sorts of things that you want to do, but then you got to get it set up and then you got to print out each one, and that takes time. So you're always adjusting your queue on like what you're running, and you try to keep that 3D printer like running as many hours as you can. And stuff like that. But man, yeah, I'm real excited about the 3D printing, how the price on it has come down, how the technology is always getting better, and the fact that we can do stuff like that. And I think that is super handy because if you need to replace a plastic part, a lot of things are meant to be thrown away, so you can't do it. But if you have the know-how and or know somebody who has the know-how and you can get that part printed, then you can fix something instead of throwing it away. I think that's good just because not being wasteful is nice. Not creating more garbage is nice. But yeah, I mean, it gives you the ability to make niche items, and like that is like the coolest thing. Bucket, airline, sponge filter, air pump, bags, rubber bands, nets, dechlorinator. Don't forget your stickers, vibes. You don't wear glasses, so you don't have to worry about remembering your glasses. Wallet, keys, phone. So yeah, I do have an albino bristlenose female in this tank. The place where I have my albino bristle, I have albino bristle noses in 2 tanks, and I was short on males, so this female came from Jeff Pelham with some males, and so the female is extra. So we'll let this female be the one differently colored albino bristle nose, and we'll see how long it is before somebody picks that one. The only one, it's like probably gonna go like fairly early on. We'll find out. So yeah, I just put dechlorinator in the water that I've aged. So in those 4 buckets that I'm going to take. So I have a battery operated. I have a battery operated aerator. So I can run that. So I can definitely run that. And if we have access to electricity, I will have another diaphragm pump to pump air. So we'll have bubbles in the tank. Elaine says, my daughter is getting into 3D printing. She has a sign shop. She has a laser printer and makes amazing mirrors with custom lettering and pictures. That is so cool, man. Amazing mirrors with custom lettering and pictures. That's really cool, man. Because you could do a mirror like in the entryway and stuff like that, and like that's cool, man. Yeah, they are awesome, but a D battery is expensive. They had 2D batteries at Home Depot. Of course, it could be like a convenience fee. You know what I mean? Like Home Depot might not be the best place to buy batteries. But yeah, 2D batteries was $10.26. And I was like, I mean, like, I mean, like, I need a battery powered operator, aerator, you know what I mean? Like, that is the truth, you know what I mean? Like, so I will pay it, but jeez. But yeah, I'm excited. Just got to figure out who to keep and who to let go. There's so many babies in there. But I think what I'll do is I'll pack up everything here, and I'll leave the babies in this tank. And because this tank is really easy, because it's like waist high and I can get in front of it, I can watch these babies grow up, and as they sex out, pull the males out of there, and maybe get myself some Wittergins, some untouched females, and breed some of my best guys with them. Because basically all I've done for 2 years is just like let this line express all of its variations, which is kind of like not what you're trying to do when you have a specific line of fish. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't let all of the, you should only have certain variations that are being replicated. So yeah, I've been unraveling the line basically, but you know what I mean? Like, these are some of the prettiest mutt guppies you're ever going to find. You know what I mean? Like, vibes, I have some water bottles in the car. So we just got to throw them in from the car, throw them in our bags and stuff like that so that we can put them in the fridge in the room. But yeah, like a water bottle to put, for water. I'm gonna try to lose my Yeti yet again. At Aquashella, whenever I buy something from a booth, I put my water glass down, and then I buy the thing, and then I'm very excited, and then I go back over. I go back over to the table, and I tell everybody about what I got, and I show them what I got, and then I go, "Where's my Yeti at?" And you want to know what? For 5,000 people rolling through Aquashella, and everything going on and stuff like that, that Yeti is still sitting there where I left it at somebody's booth, and they're like, "Yo, man, it's right here." Like, sorry about that. So yeah, I've done that many a time. All right, vibes. You take it easy, man. See you later. But yeah, doing all the things. So yeah, I hope to do some good interacting with my fellow fish keepers, and man, I can't wait to see the things that I see. There's like so much like aquatic eye candy at aquarium wise, scape wise, product wise, that I can't wait to see what I'm gonna see. Like What last year there was a was it UN? Can't remember. I think it was UN uh, aquarium makers and stuff like that, and they made a box, and it was just for commercial use, um, to start. You know what I mean? But it was a display for plants, and it was really nice looking. Like I would want to have it. I would want to have it in my fish room. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was really cool looking. I remember that from last year. My coffee's really good, so I got that going for me. Let me see here. Hang on. No need to share the tab audio. But no, I have not seen these. This is a limpet. So I don't have these in my tank. But they're cool looking. That's wild looking. So it is kind of like a snail, like you can see. In that picture. That's wild. How tiny limpets do the heavy lifting of climate resilience? That's what I'm talking about. Oh, wow. So that's a limpet, y'all. The more you know. And I think we're back. So yeah, we'll do a water change on the 75-gallon before I leave. That way my goldfish have fresh water. They need that fresh water because they poop a lot. So yeah. My plan is to just pull adults. I'll leave all the babies in there just because I don't think that the babies are going to survive transport very long. They can't be without food for that long. So I just think the survival rate just wouldn't be good. And if I just pull adults and stuff like that and put them in the bucket, there's going to be babies in there by the time I get to Dallas anyway. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's unfortunate, but you know what I mean? Like, that's the cost of finding a new home. You know what I mean? Like, and somebody will give them a try. You know what I mean? Like, take the babies and give it a go. You know what I mean? To try and give them a chance. Elaine, you had to give up coffee last time you had it. You already went to 128 resting for 17 hours. Doctor tries to tell me my heart's no good. They're nuts. Yeah, you could be having like a real sensitivity to caffeine and stuff like that. Doesn't mean like your heart's like doing like textbook perfect. You know what I mean? But if you can avoid caffeine and keep your heart rate normal, then that's probably the best thing for you to do. But hey, Elaine, nobody gets out alive. You know what I mean? So I suggest that we all enjoy our lives and live our lives and stuff like that. Don't get too hung up on spending all the hours of your day focused on longevity. I see people get into that, and I feel like that's just like anything else in life. If you focus on one thing too much, you know what I mean? Like, you end up missing out on a lot of other things because you're focused on this one thing over here. But easier said than done. And honestly, by that advice, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I should be spending so much time with fish. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to change it because I'm better off for it, I feel. So somebody could make that same argument about being concerned with longevity of their life and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of studies out there. Guy I went to high school with and stuff like that, his father was a scientist, and like they were studying the biology of humans and aging specifically and stuff like that. And a lot of the research that they were doing was really interesting and kind of turning some of the information that we have had, you know what I mean, like upside down. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Elaine says, it may not be perfect. I spent my life doing 5-gallon water buckets and 35-pound hay bales and bicycling 100 miles a week. Yeah, man, it might just be worn out. You know what I mean? Like, you're definitely strong. You know what I mean? It's definitely strong. But yeah, what the things that we worry about as we're aging and stuff like that is the clogging of arteries and things like that. But they can do Doppler scans of your carotid arteries on the side. I have an order out for it, so I need to go get mine done. And I'm just at the age where all of that is starting to like harden and stuff like that. So yeah, I need to. And I have my father died of a heart attack. My mother has a pacemaker. My mother's 80. My dad lived to be 69. So, and he had quadruple bypass at one point. So right now my cholesterol is in control and my blood tests look good and stuff like that. And like, those are the things and markers that will get us through most things. So yeah, Elaine, your heart is probably pretty strong. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to make sure that none of the components be bad. You know what I mean? So But yeah, no, if you've been super active like that all your life and stuff like that, you're probably pretty good. But yeah, man, 128 resting heart rate for 17 hours. You know what I mean? It's just like that would make me not want to drink coffee, I think. And I might have to at some point, like I've already noticed, like, I mean, I usually have a flare up with my alcohol drinking during these fish events and stuff like that. But in my daily life and stuff like that, man, like I have just not wanted very much alcohol. It's I think it started affecting me differently. You know what I mean? Like I can't drink like a young man. You know what I mean? And like I mean, like it impairs my next day so much that it's just like that's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like kind of like your coffee thing. If it's just like if it's gonna ruin 24 to 36 hours after I do it, like what is the point of that? So I might just have a couple beers for taste this time around and remember my experience. How about that? Plus, it's going to be hot. Like it was 106 here today. We went from temperatures that were a little low for our average to over 100, and I think that we broke a record like for the earliest day of triple digits. So we got that going for us. But that's why my garage doesn't have any windows and is insulated and has a Mr. Cool heat pump in it. We'll just keep it 80 degrees in here. If it's triple digits outside and I'm keeping it 80 degrees in the garage, in order to keep it at 80 degrees, it's going to be blowing some cold air on me. So should be decent. You know what I mean? It's just like it's my strategy for dealing with the chaotic world outside. Stay in your fish room. Go get gas, go to work, go to a fish event, but always come back to your fish room. Stay in your fish room. There's a lot of hot chocolate out there, Elaine, and you can get pretty fancy with it. So you switch to hot chocolate and you make it with almond milk and dark chocolate bars. Best hot chocolate ever. Man, I bet it is. Might give up beer. I might. I might. But I'm hanging out with Eddie, so he's always a good influence. He does have an adult beverage from time to time, but he 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 doesn't submerge himself in it, which has been my habit in the past. And yeah, I don't like the results of that so much. You know what I mean? So I mean, I might be having fun at the time, but if you don't remember, then what's the point? You know what I mean? So yeah, I might just like have a couple drinks. You know what I mean? And vibe it out. But I should sleep good tomorrow night at the hotel because I'm gonna be short on sleep, and I'm gonna help the Garden of Eater out, and that's a good amount of physical activity. So should be able to get some nice rest. So yes, this Wasser's hanging out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 12:20 in the morning. It's 5:15. It is May the 15th. Ooh, students are graduating. People are finishing their final exams. College-wise, stuff like that. Official summertime plans are happening. We got our first 3-digit days. Definitely make you want to go swimming. So yeah, no, it's actually a great time of year. Lots of things going on. So I'm excited. I'm off work this week, so I'm going to go have fun at a fish convention and then catch up next week, see what's going on. My favorite fish right now, my favorite fish is the bristlenose pleco. Today, in this moment, my favorite is the bristlenose pleco. I can't tell you, like, I've always been drawn to bottom dweller fish, like fish with little barbels. Always thought that was cool ever since I was a kid and stuff like that. If you asked me as a kid, I would have said catfish. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many bottom dwellers and stuff like that. And these brown bristlenoses, their natural patterning, the dots, the different variations of it on the different fish and stuff like that. It's just like, I love it. I think it's great. At other points in time in my life, I would have told you that the whale shark is also, it would have been my favorite. And I love the striping with the dots on it. And I think that is like on the brown bristlenose a bit as well. There's dots all over them. And then there's like lighter patches on them and stuff like that. It's just like, it's cool. So what color? Yeah, I'm going with the common brown right now is my favorite. There are lots of different flavors. I do like the way the longfin looks. Like, I really like the way the long fin bristle noses look when they're about like an inch to 2 inches, like in that juvenile stage. They look like little angels. You know what I mean? Like, they get bigger and stuff like that, and with the long fins and everything. And yeah, it's not as cool then. I like them in that juvenile stage with the proportion of the fins to the bodies, because the fins, like when they're adults and stuff like that, like if you look at that, oh my goodness, he just moved out of frame. If you look at that bristle nose, that yellow one, that albino one, it they get that fat teardrop shape when they're still a juvenile and still growing out. They're long and more slender, and I like that body, and I like that body shape like a whole lot on the long fins. But the short fin bristle noses and stuff like that just look all fat like a little potato, like I love that too. So yeah, I would say brown bristle nose right now, just because the brown bristle nose could change the hobby if we started selling those as opposed to the common pleco. And I know that the difference is price. Like what think Jeff was looking at prices on stuff, and bristle noses were $20 or something like that. And I mean, like, that might be true. You know what I mean? Like, that might be the average price now. You know what I mean? Just because, you know, like but they just don't seem to be like, well, from my experience, they just don't seem to be rare. You know what I mean? And they breed so easily that I feel like they shouldn't be rare. But you know what I mean? Like, you got to get the stores to be pushing bristle noses uh, over monster plecos. You know what I mean? Like plecos that get like 3 feet long. You know what I mean? Like, but there's also like the rubber nip, the rubber lip pleco is another one that stays small. There's lots of species of pleco, and they all like a lot of them stay like fairly small, so they would be fine in a 10-gallon or a 20-gallon. Now, I believe that there is a place for monster fish in the hobby. I believe that there is a place for like nano fish in the hobby. I believe the variety is the spice of life. I don't believe it should just be, we should only sell fish that are that can fit in a 10 or 20-gallon. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would not be fun. But I feel like though fish that need bigger than a 10 or 20-gallon tank should be like specialized. You know what I mean? And like 10 and 20-gallon tanks being the most common tanks that for beginner hobbyists and stuff like that, like it should be set up so it's just like, hey, this will work in a 10 or 20-gallon tank. You know what I mean? Like, all right, you know what I mean? Like every tank that has a yellow sticker on it, all of those fish that are in that tank are safe for a 10 or 20-gallon. Everything with a green sticker needs 100 gallons or more. You know what I mean? Or something like that. If there was a way to like organize it to make it easier for beginner fish keepers to know like what size, because I feel like that is just one of the mistakes that we can help people avoid is having something in the wrong size tank. Giant plecos freak you out? Cece, have you seen any of the giant like Corydoras species and stuff like that? They've got some that are like body wise, like about like yay big and stuff like that. And I was like, I want them so bad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have anywhere to keep them. You know what I mean? I'd have to scramble. But yeah, dude, they're pretty cool looking. I saw some that weren't fully grown yet, but I saw them at a fish auction, I think, here in town actually. And like, that was really cool to look at. Elaine says, I think bristlenose plecos are so easy to breed, hardy, and long-lived, the stores can only sell so many to repeat customers. You know, that's true too. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, how do you get a business model that does well, that is viable? Because like, yeah, I mean, like, that is some of the problem. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a refrigerator that will run for 40 years, you know what I mean? Like, people won't be buying enough refrigerators. You know what I mean? So there is a advantage to not solving the problem permanently. Because yeah, you're right. It wouldn't be advantageous for the LFS to like not have anything to sell. You know what I mean? Like people don't need to buy anything. But that's the end of it. That's the end of it that I'm on. So I know that I'm not helping. You know what I mean? Like CC says some stores have printouts of life-size adults of certain fish. And yeah, no, so yeah, some of that is already being done, and I think that that's really great. Um, that's why refrigerators only last 5 to 10 years now. Yeah, exactly. Um, but I don't know, man. Like the industry, yeah, the industries and the sellers do a lot to dictate like what we're gonna get and like how it is, but also the the if the buying patterns change of the consumers, they kind of have to do something about that. Otherwise, they won't survive. You know what I mean? So we have power, we're just not organized. And that's sad. But with the price of everything going up, and the cost of things, and how many dollary dues we get, and how much dollary dues it costs to get things, uh, I think that a lot of people are having to make decisions about what they're spending money on, and I think that the more of us that have to stop and when these things happen, like inflation and increased taxes and things like that, people are going to have to make decisions about where their money is going, and because they can buy less things, they're going to be pickier about what they're buying, and I think that is going to make things change a little bit for the better. Garcia Aquatics, a happy birthday to you, sir. It is not my birthday today, but I believe that it is Aquafunk's birthday. Fishy Biz wanted me to tell everybody that it's Aquafunk's birthday, and happy birthday, Aquafunk. Garcia, good to see you in here, man. Gonna miss you, but I heard that you were going to show up at that New Jersey event, so I definitely will be tuning in after that New Jersey event, and seeing what you see. I'm really excited to see who shows up at the New Jersey Aquashella, social media wise and stuff like that. I think that that's probably going to be a pretty fun time. That's what we need as a consumer union. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Getting people to show up and participate is hard. I mean, it's hard for me. So, okay, it is 12:34. I am late getting to CC's broadcast, so we need to go see Miss CC's Aqua Escapes. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get all these fish moved around and stuff like that, and if I can't sleep, at least lay down and watch some movies or something, so that I can rest up for our trip tomorrow. I love you guys. Have a great night.